everyone. Thanks for coming to our session, learning more about commercial side of Earth Engine. My name is Kyle Campbell. I'm the global partner lead for our geosustainability business, and I've got my coworker and friend here.
Yep. Hi, I'm Connie Gold. I'm on the go-to-market team and working with Kyle on building out the partner ecosystem on the commercial side.
So before we jump in, just maybe a quick show of hands. How many of you all are in business working with Earth Engine? Any of you all currently? I know there's a few. Okay, good. Okay, great. Love to see that. And then I guess maybe a few are interested. So love to have you all here. As Eugene mentioned a few minutes ago, with Earth Engine, we've really stepped into a new stage last year when we launched the commercial launch of Earth Engine as a commercially paid-for product. And so we'll obviously cover a lot of that today. But I always tell my little story about joining the team January of last year, talking with Joel Conkling, one of the lead product managers on Earth Engine. And Google's a engineering-led company, so salespeople, there's less of us, which I think is a good thing. And he said, "Hey, Kyle, we need your help selling Earth Engine. We're going to take it to commercial in June. And we need your help to build out this program." And so my first question was, great, well, how many partners do you have? Because at Google, in the cloud side of the house, we rely and work closely with partners to sell our technologies. And Joel said, well, we have 2 partners. And I said, well, that's great. 2 partners in the US, but more elsewhere? And he's like, no, we just have 2. And I'm like, well, you're going to launch a global product and you have 2 partners, and I've got like less than 6 months to figure this out. And so it's been a really fun journey. Connie joined me along the way. And so we'll share with you a little bit about the program today. We will have questions and answers at the end. So when we do, we'll pass the microphone around. If you could just raise your hand. We want to make sure that those who are watching the recording get to hear everything. So without any further ado, I'll jump in. And so this will be our topics and agenda that we'll cover today. But again, we'll have plenty of time at the end for question and answer. We have a full hour in here today. Connie and I have run through this. We think that an hour is more than sufficient. We'll probably be done a little early to even have a cup of coffee or visit afterwards. So talking about Earth Engine as a commercially available product, we launched Earth Engine back in June of last year as a commercially available product. And what does that mean? This is the actual post that Rebecca put out. It's very rare that you have a product that comes to life that's been in an experimental stage for many years, like Earth Engine. One of the real great benefits is that you have a wide group of people using it. But so it brings a lot of fun and interesting things from a challenge perspective. But the big thing is, I think, to understand who needs to pay for Earth Engine and who does not have to pay for Earth Engine. So we have a lot of information online we can share with you. You'll have access to this presentation. But essentially, if someone is using Earth Engine for business purposes, for operational purposes, and that could be a nonprofit, that could be a government, they do need to license the product. And so it's kind of this gray area. A lot of people think, well, we're nonprofit, so we don't need an Earth Engine license. That would be true if you're publishing it to the world and you're not charging for services for people to use what you're building, and they're not using it for operational purposes. But again, if they are using it for operational purposes, whether they're nonprofit, even academia, if you're using it to run your campus operations, that does require a license. And so we'll help you with that. We're going to talk through some of the licensing here in a bit, and as well as the opportunity for you to potentially become a partner. So when we launched Earth Engine, we came out with multiple pricing schemes, and we start out with a basic, a professional, and a premium level. And this is really based on the number of users that you have in your group. 2 developer seats come with a basic license. It's $500 a month for the usage. That comes with about 20 high-volume API requests. There's no SLA in place if you go with that package. And then it also comes with credits for batch, online, and storage. Now, if you go over those, there's some standard pricing that we'll show you in a second. really for a lot of our beginning companies that are using it, Basic is a pretty good place to start. These are month-to-month contracts, so you don't have to worry about being stuck in a premium or professional. You can move with 30 days notice into the right package that fits your needs. Professional, we find, is really kind of the sweet spot for the medium-size groups that are using Earth Engine 5 developer seats. A lot of people also ask, what constitutes a developer seat? So when we talk about developer seats, these are the number of users during a 1-month period that are using Earth Engine. So it's not, well, we have 3 developers during the day and 3 at night, so is that just 3? It's actually 6. It's, for the month period that you're using it. And you can see as you move up to the higher tier plans, there's more credits that are given to you from storage and online. But you also notice that we do have an SLA in place at the professional and the premium levels. So those are the benefits that you gain from the higher licensing fee, as well as more seats for developers. We go to 5 at the professional level, and then at the premium level, you get unlimited developer seats. So we have a lot of large companies, customers that are using Earth Engine that premium is a really good fit for them.
Oh, and one thing to highlight, as you move up in package, the resources you also get are different. And so those are the things that we really want to point out as, the value of each of the higher level packages.
Yep, definitely. And you also notice the high volume API concurrent requests go up dramatically as you go to the higher levels. So, again, people that are using it for corporate, for operational use, there are a lot of benefits. Time is money. And so being able to do more tasks at one time are beneficial. So there's a bit of a higher value there and a higher price for that.
And we're working on more. So
yes, yeah, there's changes coming. We're getting a lot of feedback, and so it's good to have feedback. And we also have Sheba, our commercial product manager here. That afterwards, if you have questions about this, we'd love to get some feedback from you on the current pricing model. I did mention that when you go over those included compute and storage fees, these are the rates that you see here, and these are tiered. So as you go up in usage, you automatically get built-in discounts depending on how much you consume. So it's straight consumption pricing at that level, and the discounts are automatic. We do have one plan that a lot of people always look at and say, well, this is interesting. It's limited. What is limited? So limited is really intended for one individual that's doing some testing, technology work, maybe starting to build something out. It is not meant for enterprise customers, and we do not allow you to add any individual developers to this license. So it is limited in the sense it is limited. So we really recommend people start at the basic level, especially in a commercial sense, because limited is really not intended for that. And when you're ready to get started, you can go online and register your project. So, we do have a lot of companies that we work with that are in the non-for-profit space, and it's not, the Earth Engine's not being used for commercial. So they might have one project that they're running all of that work on, but then they have another side of their business. Maybe they're doing some consulting, and they require a license for that. You can have 2 projects. You would register them there, and you can select your own plan. So you can self-serve what type of license you want to get. And again, you have the ability month to month to move from plan to plan. So this is probably good, especially for a few of you all that have not made the leap into becoming a partner. Why do I want to become a commercial partner for Earth Engine? And Eugene talked about this a little bit ago, is one, making a bigger impact. The work that's been done with Earth Engine over the past 13 years in research and academia is amazing, right? But there's so much more opportunity out there in the enterprise space. So you think of companies like Unilever, who have made a pledge to only source palm from responsible growers. A lot of consumer packaged goods opportunities, protecting natural resources. A lot of our large government customers do require a license. And so this is an opportunity for you. You have some great knowledge in Earth Engine. As many people that are here today, you're very few and far between. It's a very specific skill set, and so you're very important. I want you to know that no matter what, and I think there's a great opportunity for you. And really, these are some of the big benefits is, making a living doing something that you love and are passionate about. And again, we have a lot of partners that do a lot of work on the not-for-profit side that does not require a license, but they also are doing some consulting and working with some large companies to forward our goals in sustainability, and you can make a living doing it, which is a really great thing. You're also able to increase your visibility and reach. So again, making more of an impact by becoming a partner. And then within the partner program, we do have exclusive resources for you to help you build your business. We want you to be successful. And again, Google is a very strong partner-driven company within our cloud organization. Partners we have thousands of partners, and they're very, very important to us. To become an Earth Engine partner, though, you first must become a Google Cloud partner. And so I'll talk a little bit about the journey becoming a cloud partner. We have a program called Google Cloud Partner Advantage. This is our partner program. This is the first step to becoming an Earth Engine partner, is first to join the Cloud Partner Advantage program. And it's like a lot of technology company programs. There's certifications and different requirements. But you have the ability to really kind of choose the path that's best for you. And we'll talk through that. We have 3 basic type of partners within our cloud ecosystem. We have our service partners, and these could be system integrators, GSIs, MSPs. We have sell partners. These are groups that just all they want to do is resell. Probably not a lot of just sell-only people here. You are technologists, I assume. And then we have build partners, so ISVs. So think of, you've built some amazing application, and you want people to license to use that you might be a build partner. It's also important to point out that a lot of our partners are a combination of this. I can share with you that companies like NGIS, who have built the Tracemark solution, they sell Earth Engine. They do provide service and do custom projects, but then they have the Tracemark solution, which is a build solution. So it's really whatever is best for you. People ask me, well, Kyle, what is the best thing for us? It's what's best for you, and we'll help consult with you there. But really, it needs to be a good fit for you. Within the partner ecosystem, we have different levels. People say, well, when I join, what do I have to do? The base level partner with Google Partner Program is a member designation. To become an Earth Engine partner, you do need to be at the partner level, but then our top tier is our premier level, and I'll talk a little bit about the requirements within these areas. But again, the beginning is really, you just have to figure out where you fit. Are you going to be a sell partner? If you do, you have to figure out what regions you're going to sell in, what products, if you're working with a distributor, and then there's different tasks that you have to go through, different certifications. If you're a service partner, there's less steps. You look at the product family, again, you choose the regions, and then you have some certification. The build is probably the fastest path to becoming a partner, but I emphasize, if it's not a good fit for you, I wouldn't recommend you go that path. But again, this is if you have an application that you're selling access to that leverages Earth Engine in the background. Build, the really way to think about it is kind of like a customer that's a partner, because you'll have a license of Earth Engine, and then you become a partner, and it's really choosing the family, and the authorization tasks are pretty straightforward. It's showing that you're using Earth Engine within your platform is really the fast path there to becoming a build partner. So along the way, there's a lot of steps that you go through, and we're here to help you. So it may seem a bit overwhelming in the beginning, but again, Connie and I are here to help guide you through this process. But starting out, picking your path, sell, service, build, putting a team together. For a lot of you all, selling things might be new, interesting, maybe a little bit overwhelming. Again, we can help provide advice there. And one of the great things about our partner ecosystem is we find that our partners tend to work together. So instead of like a lot of technology areas where you have partners that compete fierce competition and they don't talk to each other. Our partners are very friendly and very open, and quite often it's not uncommon to have 2, maybe 3 partners working in an opportunity. I can tell you one of the opportunities, South Florida Water Management, where they're monitoring the algae bloom, we have 3 partners working together in that. And it's really a great story because one partner is strong at one thing, one at another thing, and one at another area. And so all of them coming together for a common goal is really, really inspiring. Along the way, we work with you to show your success, to share it. We do blog posts, we do white papers together. We help promote our partners, so we will help you. We have a lot of really great tools and systems in place to promote. We have expertise, which is kind of like a certification, but not a technical certification. That's part of the Earth Engine program. And then we also have specializations. Specializations within Google Cloud are important if you become a service partner, because if you want to work with Google with a customer where Google already has a contract, you can be a subcontractor providing your services, and Google will pay you if you have a specialization. And we'll talk about that. And then finally, the premier level is kind of the top level. It's not something that everybody has to achieve, but that's a lot of companies come in and they want to get to that highest level. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So when people talk about, well, Kyle, I want to become an Earth Engine partner, I don't know a lot about Google Cloud. What products are complementary to Earth Engine? BigQuery is used a lot with Earth Engine. BigQuery, huge data lake for tabular data. We have a lot of customers that are solving large geospatial problems using BigQuery, and Earth Engine works really well with that. We've actually built a faster way to connect the two. Before it was like a 6-step process. Now we're down to a 2-step process. And then the other area we see a lot of integration points are Vertex AI platform for machine learning against imagery, a lot of work there. And then finally, the Google Maps platform. A lot of people will do all this amazing work in Earth Engine, and then they want to present in a layer that is super easy to get out to the public. Google Maps is really strong at presentation. It's the most popular map in the world, and we have APIs that help you push that out. And then you also heard the announcements of the air quality, the pollen, and the solar APIs. Those are all part of the data and maps platform that you have the ability to work with. So when you start your journey and you want to look at certifications to take, I always recommend people to focus on Maps, Vertex, or BigQuery, because they just work together very well with Earth Engine and are very common use cases. And now I'll let Connie take over from here.
Great, thanks, Kyle. So Kyle went over the Google Cloud requirements, and so once you kind of go through those steps and you've become a partner within the Cloud Partner Advantage ecosystem, we also have a few requirements to become an Earth Engine partner. But most of you already probably passed half of the bar, so hopefully this shouldn't be too hard. So as Kyle mentioned, when we went to GA, we launched as a Cloud Partner Advantage initiative, which is an invite-only program. And we actually have Rachel here with us, who is our point of contact with the Cloud Partner Advantage team, so she could also help answer your questions. But she's been incredible in helping us get this program launched in cloud. And so our goal is really to connect enterprises with a powerful ecosystem of partners who understand Earth Engine, have deep knowledge in it, are able to build solutions, and also provide systems integrations. And so as Kyle mentioned, the cloud partner engagement models, we cover all 3. So you can become a sell, service, or build Earth Engine partner. So just again, reminder, the cloud part is the first piece that you have to get through. And once you've achieved that certification, then we talk about the Earth Engine requirements. So number 1, need to have geospatial and remote sensing expertise, which I think all of you have. You check that box. Attend Earth Engine training, which you all have as well. But then what we do is we schedule some time to meet with you, and where you'll have the opportunity to present a business plan and staffing plan. Because we want to understand, again, as Kyle mentioned, what's best for you, but how are you planning to go to market, and what is your focus areas? And with that, we also have our technical team, like Michael in the back, who will join us who will kind of evaluate a working solution that you might have working with Earth Engine or a technical demo. So we just want to validate your technical expertise. Very important for service partners. And then for service and build partners, we do require you to purchase an Earth Engine plan because the expectation is you're working with customers, so you would need to be able to kind of have your own Earth Engine instance and be able to support them that way. And then a big critical piece where I think, so because we're an initiative, we were able to kind of define our own requirements. We are allowing partners to join. So after you go through those steps, we would invite you into the program. But you do have 6 months to submit a customer success story. So it doesn't have to be a public story, but it does need to validate that you've been working with a customer and you were able to, whether it's sell, service, or build, demonstrate that you are successfully working with a customer.
And I'll just add a quick point on this story. Like Connie mentioned, it is internal. So if you say, hey, we don't have permission from our customer to publish a story, it is kept strictly internal. But the really valuable piece here is that we have thousands of people selling Google Cloud. A lot of them aren't experts in Earth Engine, but we have the ability for them to do a search, and if they say, hey, I'm looking into biodiversity, who are our partners? They can find those, they can find the stories, and they say, wow, this company is doing something very similar to what I'm wanting to do. It gives them that level of comfort because there's a level of trust with our partners, right? We're bringing you in with a lot of our customers that have a lot of very strict requirements and whatnot. And so for the cloud sellers, this is super helpful for them to better understand your value add as a partner. Like, what have you built and what do you bring to the table?
Yes. And so thank you, teeing up our benefits. So what's the benefit of being an Earth Engine commercial partner? So as Kyle mentioned, you have the opportunity to collaborate with our Google Cloud sales team. We also have sales specialists that focus on geosustainability products, so they are always eager to find out which partners are capable and have the experience that their customers are looking for. We also create sales toolkits for our sales team so that they could better target customers. And within that, we want to feature real partners who can develop solutions or consult in agriculture or public sector or sustainable sourcing. So I'll go over some of the use cases specifically, but in those sales toolkits, we want to be able to feature actual partners. And then, as Kyle mentioned, as part of cloud, you have the opportunity to highlight your customer stories. It is important for press is important for your company as well as for us to demonstrate, here's what you can do with this technology. And then you also have the ability to apply for marketing funds for various events to support your business growth. On the technical side, so you're all here at Geo4Good, but we will have additional training opportunities for our commercial partners. There's a platform called Cloud Skills Boost where you'll actually be able to online self-train and have your team go through different types of training that we're working to get published up there. We'll also have opportunities like this for in-person workshops and events. We just had a commercial partner specific event in Dublin this past summer. Really great to get everyone together. So more opportunities to advance your technical skills. And then on the product side, while you might get some of the technical face-to-face with experts at forums like this, we also want to encourage more of a collaboration with the product team as well. And so we're looking to start up some regular cadence to share upcoming features and help you understand what's coming on the product side, have the opportunity to give early product feedback and be part of an alpha testing group. So again, commercial needs might be slightly different than the non-commercial world, and so we definitely want to have the right voices that represent to give us that feedback. And then also be part of our partner advisory board. This is really important to help shape the future direction of our roadmap. What are the critical things that are blocking you from really working and supporting your customers? So here's just a snapshot of some of the partners that have joined our program to date. We have more that we continue to add they go through the evaluation. At the bottom of this slide, there's a link to the Cloud Partner Directory. And the Cloud Partner Directory has all cloud partners in there, but this link will directly link you to the ones with the Earth Engine expertise. So again, the ones that have been authorized to sell, service, or build on Earth Engine. We also understand that there are a lot of requirements to get through this process. So maybe you want to just kind of get a feel for who's already there. You could always connect with them. We have some partners here as well if you just want to kind of find out about their experience. Or the other thing is, as Eugene mentioned in the morning session, there's a lot of opportunity to fill different gaps within the solving commercial problems. And so perhaps you're not ready to jump into being a commercial partner. We'd love to hear feedback from you on how can you connect to that world in terms of expanding your reach and impact. So the partner directory is an external facing directory that will show you who's actually authorized in this space. But Kyle and myself are here to get feedback from you on different ways you might want to engage if this is not the right path for you. So just wanted to go through, leveraging Google's growing ecosystem of Earth Engine partners. We want to arm businesses and governments with insights that help them understand and tackle critical sustainability and climate issues. And so, as Eugene mentioned, this whole day is filled with different tracks on different use cases that we are going to market with in terms of where Earth Engine can play a role in the commercial world. And so I just wanted to highlight that for you. As you all know, Earth Engine as a platform can support a wide variety of use cases. But from a go-to-market strategy, we chose these top focus areas that are best aligned to what we've heard as customer needs to help drive sustainable decision-making. So there's, sustainable sourcing, as Eugene mentioned about the EUDR, CPG and retail companies are really trying to figure out how are they going to meet the regulation demands in Europe. And so around enabling transparency and traceability in their global supply chain. We also have protecting natural resources. We have a ton of attendance here by the public sector. We know that they've been a great, Earth Engine has been a great technology tool for them. And so we hope to continue to expand in helping them with their mission. Climate risk is another area for financial services, transportation, logistics, real estate. All of those industries need to understand their climate risk and how that exposure might impact their operations. Environmental and health impact. So there's a session later today that Karen's running around methane detection. That is also becoming a bigger area of focus. Algae bloom monitoring, as Kyle mentioned, South Florida has a project going there for clean water. We've worked with a company to look at even mosquito forecasting, which could help prevent spread of malaria. And ag tech is becoming also, or it has been, a great use case for Earth Engine. So we have customers, both customers and partners who are focused in the agriculture space on regenerative and precision agriculture. A lot of great opportunities to have, to influence sustainable practices in those industries. So Kyle spoke about the self-service build model. I wanted to give you a little bit more ideas in case that maybe is not resonating with you as a high-level term, but like exactly what that might mean for you as an Earth Engine partner. So as a sell partner, you'll have the ability to resell Earth Engine to your customers as well as other cloud products, but you'll also get a discount on those products when you're reselling. You, as a service partner, would provide professional services such as consulting, custom integrations, provide expertise, technical support, and some of our partners even do training. They hold training for other customers and other partners, so that could be an opportunity for your business. And then as a build partner, we love to see, we also know like the platform itself is not always an easy thing for an end customer to use. So we definitely rely on partners to help us build, whether it's applications or actual end-to-end solutions on top of Earth Engine that will be more easy to use or easy to understand from a customer perspective, because they don't all have PhDs in geospatial science. So we need your expertise there to make that easier and lower the barrier for them. And then you'll have the opportunity to list your solution in Google Cloud Marketplace. So as Kyle mentioned, 2 of our partners are long-standing partners who started on the commercial side. Both NGIS has their solution called Tracemark on the marketplace, and Climate Engine has their solution called Spatiify on the marketplace. So it's just another place for you to reach more customers and get have the opportunity to promote your product. And then I will go into another, not to confuse you too much, but another opportunity for build partners specifically. There's an initiative called Google Cloud Ready Sustainability, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Before I do, as I mentioned, here's some examples of partner solutions that have been built around different use cases. Tracemark, Spatiify. We are looking for partners in the methane space and any other potential areas. So, and again, Earth Engine can solve lots of different problems and use cases. And, as a commercial partner, you are not tied to these areas. You are, more than welcome to explore. But this is kind of where we're guiding, and we see the opportunities from our side. That this is Google's focus in terms of where we see spreading Earth Engine out to the commercial world. So I will just take a few minutes to cover the Google Cloud Ready Sustainability. We have a colleague, Denise, who runs this program, and I wanted to make sure you all were aware of it. So as you go through your partner journey, as if you become a build partner and you end up building a solution, this is another designation to help kind of recognize your a proven partner solution that meets a core set of requirements around sustainability. And so the requirements include that your solution should address ESG risk, help customers achieve their environmental, social, governance targets, or support their ESG goal frameworks like the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So again, they also will showcase their partners in the same Google Cloud directory. You just get this additional designation that indicates that you also have met the requirements for this program. It's just another way to highlight your solution. So why is this important for partners? I think you have the opportunity to really get your solution verified by Google. There's benefits from a GCP carbon footprint reporting. You get closer alignment with sustainability and partner eng teams, and it does help accelerate your sales cycle since your product's already validated and if it's on the marketplace. And for customers, this designation allows greater confidence when choosing a partner solution. They get faster discovery because there is a lot of go-to-market effort around these solutions. And then, the customer has the time to focus on action instead of, figuring out which partner to go with. So again, this is specific to build partners that have built solutions around sustainability. And this is not a requirement. You could be an Earth Engine partner. You may or may not have this additional credential, but some of our build partners we definitely encourage because it's just another way for them to promote their solution. And so these are the benefits of being part of this initiative. They do a lot of joint activity support, so they'll get either us or them will, work with you. We're all one big team to work with you to develop customer case studies. They do a lot of go-to-market effort as well. So they might take it to the next level where they do additional blog posts and PR around your solution to help differentiate. And then they do enablement as well. So specific to your solution, how do they educate our internal sales team on your solution? So, giving them that one-pager, toolkit, et cetera, so they're aware. So these are their specific requirements. So again, a solution targeted at climate, environmental, social, and governance impact. You have at least 3 customers using your solution. The solution also needs to be powered by Google Cloud, and then at least 1 publicly referenceable customer case study. And so that, again, there's no rush to get into these. I'm just showing you some opportunities depending on the path you choose. And how to get started. So this deck is, the link to this deck is in the website agenda, so you can get all the links. But there's a link here that will direct you to the Google Cloud Partner Program, how to get started. They have a wealth of resources for the different engagement models. Again, it might be a little overwhelming, so do let us know if you have any questions. And then once you go through that, it is a little bit outside of Kyle and my world in terms of how you progress through that. But once you completed that requirement, then we would ask you to fill out this form that would come to Kyle and myself for the next steps on becoming an Earth Engine partner. Great, and then just Q&A.
Hold on, let me get the microphone for you.
Well, thank you for such a comprehensive presentation. Thank you. This is very inspiring. I'm almost like jumping into being a partner.
Oh, great. We would love.
So on that note, is there like a track for folks to do a research version of this to start with? Because you may not be completely ready with your go-to-market solution. You may be researching tracks on which you want to engage your customers. You may not even have like potential customers in mind, but then you want to be ready when you finally ready to launch. So this sounds like a very startup environment that you have built with the rich Google support. But is there like a parallel track, like a pre-track, which researchers can take to get there, but then when they're ready, jump into this track?
We don't have one available at the moment, but we are a unique product in that we have such a rich research scientific community, and we are looking at ways to kind of connect those worlds. I'd love to hear from you, like how would you want to be found? Is it to be connected to, because as Kyle mentioned, a lot of customers, one partner can't solve all their needs or they don't have all the expertise. So there might be an opportunity where we need research, a partner might need research to complement the work that they're doing. We don't have a clear path or a program for matching that up. But we are looking to figure that out. So I'd love feedback from you, and maybe we can talk after about what are ways we can get you visible to this commercial partner community who are working on solving different customer needs.
Yes, I also think, as I mentioned, we have a lot of great partners that are very open to working with other companies and groups. And so, we certainly could help connect you, like if you're like, I don't know if I want to do this, right? Is this really for me? And we're certainly happy to listen to your ideas and give you our thoughts on like this. There's potential here. Obviously, we can't guarantee that it's going to be a full-on success, but we can certainly help there. And then we can also make some connections to some of the existing partners that are always, again, super friendly and open to discovering. So we'd happy to make some connections. I think that would probably be a good step for you if you are exploring. Certainly stay after. We'll love to talk to you and learn more about what you're thinking, but also introduce you to some of our existing partners to get some thoughts from them, because they're all very great to work with and open to sharing ideas.
Thank you. I think I'll be in touch with some ideas and some kind of brainstorming.
Yeah.
One follow-up question to that is the 6 months period to come up with the customer success story. What happens if you don't come up with the customer success story in 6 months? It would take 7 months, 12 months.
This is a thing that we're trying to balance, because it does take some time. I think it depends on where you're coming from. If you are a Google Cloud or Maps partner and the partner ecosystem well, but maybe are ramping up on Earth Engine, that might take you time to actually find that customer success story. We are also seeing on the other side, Earth Engine experts maybe are still figuring out their go-to-market strategy and how to reach the right customers, and that takes time. I think we'll work with you, but it is something that we've technically are supposed to have one to get the expertise, but we wanted to make sure that we felt strongly about each partner that's in our ecosystem. So we were given kind of that waiver for 6 months, but I think we'll have to look at case by case and work with the Cloud Partner Advantage
Yeah, and
team.
just to add to that too, it doesn't have to be a customer that actually has purchased. We do work with our partners so that if they are working on a project, but the customer hasn't actually purchased it, but you've already built the solution, you can tell that story, and so we're flexible there. Yeah, if you're, and we'll pass the microphone so everybody can hear on the
Your
recording too.
customer success story can be a success on the research side, that you integrated Earth Engine into Workflow and it saved their time by that could be your success story, at least to get in the door.
Yeah. I would also say kind of the point of that is obviously we'd love for it to be public, because then that also draws more attention to future customers that are looking for something similar and knowing that, oh, you worked with so-and-so. And so that it's a good opportunity. That Cloud Partner Directory that I mentioned, it is a really great resource. It's like kind of the perfect, yellow pages for all cloud partners. But in there, you get to highlight all of your skills, your expertise, the things that any awards you've won. But in addition, if you have customer stories, it's kind of like your website page for cloud, like the directory. And so those customer stories will also show there. So as I mentioned, cloud customers could go into that directory and find you easier if that stuff is out there. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the Startup Cloud program and the relation with Google Earth Engine?
I'm not as familiar, but I know Earth Engine, you can use startup credits for Earth Engine as well. That's all I know at the highest level.
Startup credits, so cloud does have a lot of startup credits for use, and Earth Engine is a cloud product. So as long as it's a cloud product, the credits that you're given as a startup can be used. I have a lot of partners that start out like that. They're, hey, we're not ready to jump into the license yet, but we're going to burn these down first. That's totally acceptable, for sure. Good question, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a two-part question.
Sure.
I'm curious about how small local government fits into the partner program, and then also you mentioned that it's a monthly program when you buy into Earth Engine, and I'm just wondering how easy that is to scale up and down. So I could see in our case maybe using it for half the year, and also during emergency incidents and that sort of thing, and just how flexible that is.
So government in U.S. only, I'll say in U.S. only, we do have the opportunity, Google Cloud, if it's sold through cloud, they have this kind of contract structure in place where they call it a subscription agreement for government. And so it doesn't follow the same pricing model that we shared here. It's slightly different in that there is it kind of follows the requirements of government and what they require. So luckily Earth Engine is part of the GCP agreement. So it's a little bit more catered to public sector needs.
Yeah, it provides flexibility. So certainly in government, they have to budget year to year. And so the way it kind of works, I just kind of a high level example is that, let's say government says we have a budget to spend $100,000 a year in Google products, right? And they want to use a lot of different products. So during that year, we work with them up front to kind of get an estimate of how much they're going to use, knowing that it's not perfect. And let me be clear, estimating Earth Engine use is really tricky because there's a lot of things rolling in the background. I know you all know this, right? But and so let's say they actually use $120,000 within that year. They don't have to pay the overage at the end. what we ask is that as we get towards the end of the year, we have discussions, say, okay, you definitely used more, so let's move the needle up a little bit. So we're very reasonable because, again, with government to be successful there, you have to work within their budgetary constraints. So we're definitely flexible there.
Yes.
Great, thanks.
Great.
Do you
Did
have
that
a
cover all
second?
the questions for you? Because I know you said you had two.
Well, yeah, because I think that the scaling up and down kind of fits into that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And on the corporate side, you can go up and down. We need 30 days notice to do the up and down. Now, if you're online customer and you do the activation yourself, you can actually move your license on a monthly
Yeah.
basis. And so, there is flexibility there.
I would say for premium licenses, it's a little less flexible. There is more contracting paperwork involved, and so there's more overhead. But yeah, we can talk to you about that case by case.
Sure.
Thanks again for your very interesting presentation. Have you considered, in the next future at least, to possibly give access to the commercial partner to data sets that are not openly available to the GE community? And just an example, very high resolution imagery that you have at Google, vector information that is in Google Maps, or even aggregated mobility data?
Yeah, so Google, we get this question a lot. So at Google Maps, and when I said visualization, that's really the big space for Google Maps is visualization. A lot of the content in Google Maps has different licensing requirements there, and so we are bound by those to adhere to. Obviously, we're using specific data in there and data sets. The other thing, a lot of people always look at the high resolution imagery and say, wow, we would love to consume that within Earth Engine and do some work. Currently, we're not able to do that. There's privacy concerns, and I think really Google's overall stance is very firm on customer privacy. And so, we want to protect customer privacy, and that higher resolution imagery is really personal, right? It's like looking into somebody's backyard. So what I would say is while we don't allow the use of that for derivative works, what you could do is work with some of our providers like Planet, Maxar. So we have a lot of different partners in the imagery space, Hexagon. They can provide high resolution imagery, and you combine that together, and you can use you can bring your own imagery to Earth Engine. So, but we don't currently have that's something we may look into down the road. There are certain data sets we are looking into to see if we can expose those for derivative works, and then we would definitely expose to our customers and partners first.
No, especially because I understand the privacy issue here. But for instance, in the other cases, Google Maps, you can see everything, right? Mm-hmm. So, and sometimes, now you have the fantastic Opel buildings data set, but you would like more. Even the building use or something.
We're definitely looking into it. I've been here 11 years, and we're starting to open up little areas where we can figure out what we can expose and allow derivative works on. But along the way, we Google's very careful about privacy, and we have lots of attorneys here.
Understandable, yes.
Was it more around specific high-res imagery, or just the exclusivity for partners to have access to data that maybe not everyone has?
Yeah, both. Especially those that theoretically you also have in house. Or even you mentioned Planet Maxar. It would be nice but that's probably a long shot, to have an integration that allows you to directly purchase it, that you don't have to export, and then you can directly, so maybe at a discounted price, so that would be nice.
So that's something we definitely are talking about. It's not on a firm roadmap, but having a data marketplace at some point is a goal that we would have, to where you're doing a project, you're using the free imagery that's in there for use with Earth Engine, and then you need some higher resolution imagery, maybe on a more frequent basis from Planet. You go in, clip the area that you want, and you purchase it right there, and you don't have to do anything else. It's right there. That's ultimately, I think we're hoping to get there, but it's baby steps. It takes some time, but it's a great question.
We love the feedback, and this is the type of feedback we want product to hear as well. What are the top priorities for a partner? Mm-hmm. Is it data? Is it interop with other systems? That is definitely valuable for us to hear.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Great. Well, thank you so much for joining our session. Links are in the deck, and then there's also an email alias in that form to show interest, or if you have any just questions that you'd like to ask us about. But like I said, the Cloud Partner Advantage portal has a wealth of information, so you don't even have to commit to anything other than, I think, maybe create a login, and then you'll get access to a bunch of resources to help you understand what you're getting into before you get started. So thank you so much. Oh, yeah.
Do the exploratory, because that's what we did in the beginning, and we clicked everything. Didn't know what. You can't get rid of it. And so once you've selected all those, they don't go away.
Oh, when you're applying for yourself?
If I'm interested in sell in Latin America, I'm interested. And so now we have every possible thing, and there's no way to get, and it's very hard to navigate in there. And it was just because we didn't know.
Oh, good feedback. Good
Warning.
feedback. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Proceed with caution.
yes. Thank you.
Really want to know about, and then grow it over time.
Oh, that's great feedback. Yeah, pick the stuff really you want to target, and then grow over time. That's a great. I know sometimes everybody wants every opportunity, but I would also say from our side as well, it's nicer when you're clear about what your capabilities are and where you want to target industry, use case. That helps us provide that clarity for the sales team as well.
Yeah, I say, like a lot of people want to boil the ocean. Let's start with a cup of coffee first.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Enjoy the
you all.
break.